Hello, can everyone hear me? Can everyone see the Bitcoin chart? How's everyone doing? We got some a little bit of action over the weekend. A dip on Bitcoin, swept some lows, timing was very off. So yeah, tricky situation, but we'll see. Right, so let's take a look at some charts, starting off with Bitcoin, of course. And yeah, let's take a look at some commodities, although TA-wise, there's nothing too much to say about the chart that goes parabolic like this. But anyways, let's start off with Bitcoin. So, plan for Bitcoin, like, yeah, man. The fact that commodities are ripping this hard, the dollar is dying, the stocks are trading at all-time highs. I don't think that Bitcoin is just going to die like this and trade into 70Ks. You see, that's a big reason why I think that crypto should be in for some upsides or some more upside from here as well. Maybe back into like 100, at least 100k, 105, somewhere there, you know. Retest is huge resistance level, and then we'll see, you know, if we manage to flip this, then we can start talking about way higher. Don't do so, and a lot more ranging, in my opinion. Like, a lot more ranging is more likely, rather than moving to new all-time highs straight up from here. But like, trading down here, like I said, with all of the other risk assets trading at all-time highs, I having a hard time seeing Bitcoin straight up nuke to new lows from here. But yeah, I could be wrong. But my plan, right, as we traded down here, was not for Bitcoin to trade to new lows, like I just said. But what were we looking for? We were looking for a sweep of these lows, maybe even these lows, but hold above this one. So from here, right, do something like this, and then strength above the monthly open would be a buy, or would be to add to longs, targeting yeah, first up range highs right here, and then above here, likely higher up into 105k at least, right? But like I said, the timing on the sweep was very off, right before the weekly close once again. So right before we closed the weekly, we started dumping, and we closed the weekly and the daily, of course, yesterday daily candle super ugly below the monthly open. So that on its own, sorry, combining it with the fact that we haven't swept last week's low yet, so which is also yesterday low, and we don't really have a wick to the downside, tells me that it could be that we at least see one more run there and then a bigger bounce, right? So for those reasons, I'm not pushing the buttons that confident, or I'm just being patient, right? It's only Monday, so for me, ideal scenario here would be, right, if we have our Monday low right here, let's say it stays the same, right, and we get a Monday range like this. What would be ideal for me? To see some downside tomorrow, take out these lows, right, maybe take out these as well, and then maybe see some more chop, right, because a V reversal like this is unlikely as well, but maybe some chop, right, and then we see strength from there. So we build up a base, see strength from there, reclaim the monthly open, and from there push back towards these range highs, and then we'll see once again above here it's off to 105s, 100k, 105s into maybe 108 to 110k, that big weekly, monthly resistance up until there. All right, bearish scenario for me here. If we start breaking below here and we close ugly, right? As I've said before, closes don't need to mean anything. We could close below here and then pump in the next daily candle back above and close back above the monthly open. So that doesn't need to say anything. But weakness below here, and if we stay below here and low time frame sweeps are getting sold into, right, then it's more likely that we will indeed go for new lows towards that weekly liquidity below 75k. But like I said, for now, what I think is happening is that we're sweeping that monthly low. Of course, it's only 5 more days until the monthly close, and for now it closed pretty ugly. So if you just use basic analysis on a monthly chart, high got swept, last month's low is unswept, so that will be the next draw on monthly liquidity right there. So the big long, right, will probably be whenever that liquidity gets swept and we reclaim the monthly open. So safest long place, right? Wait for Bitcoin to get these lows, right? Whether it be that we sweep these without this one, or we sweep all the way down here and then get a good buyback as soon as we trade above the monthly open, which is also the yearly open, by the way. That's your signal to get long. Invalidation below the low that we set here, or I don't know, maybe even here. And then target, like I said, all the way up to 108 to 110k. That's my plan for Bitcoin. So I'm flat still on Bitcoin for now. I don't like shorting into this. I don't like longing into this. So I'm simply waiting for lower prices, and then I'll look for strength to get long, targeting some highs. All right. That's basically it for Bitcoin. And then, yeah, apart from that, because Bitcoin dumped on the right before the close, a lot of altcoins did as well, of course. So BNB, for example, swept the highs. Like I said, I was looking for a move higher into weekly supply up here, but I said if this ends up being the sweep, then likely we see lower from here, and that's happening right now. Weekly is looking very ugly. No wick to the downside, so at least another sweep, then maybe bounce back into supply. But until we reclaim these levels, right, yeah, it's looking pretty damn bad. ETH as well, right, closed very ugly, no wick to the downside. Once again, you have these range highs, pretty clean invalidations on shorts in general. That we could flip them back into support in like a single candle, you know, and that's the thing that I'm a little bit scared of when shorting these. So for those reasons, yeah, I'm not doing it. But ETH again, reclaim this and we target higher, or wait for a sweep lower and strength. What else do we have? Solana, same thing, right? Ugly sweep. Really ugly close below all of these levels, so likely that back down to these range lows right there. And if even then, if we break below here, likely a lot lower. So focus should be on Bitcoin in my opinion, and focus on some stronger altcoins, right? Maybe some privacy coins that are still hot. Zcash, I'm not seeing it, right? We got an ugly close. We're having a bounce right now, but I think this will not result in any significant upside until we sweep the lows down here. That has been my scenario for the last couple of weeks, right? Ever since we traded to like, yeah, ever since we are trading up here, that was the area that I was looking to buy it. A sweep below these lows, something like this, reclaim, and then I could see a significant bounce, but not from prices that we're seeing right now. As you can see, the weekly not looking really healthy. Monero closed ugly as well, so it did squeeze super high up, right? But this sort of rejection, right, whenever something trades into new all-time highs, you want to see continuation, and you don't want to see this where it trades back below those levels. So on the monthly, if we close like this, I wouldn't be surprised if this trades all the way back towards here, towards 360, somewhere around there. And that's where I might buy them just for a bounce play, but not something like this. Weekly, ugly as well. Barely bouncing, ugly close. What else do we have? Yeah, Litecoin. I was swing long, as you have probably seen, but you see the weekly close. What was I looking for, right? We didn't have a wick to the upside. So what was I looking for the weekly candle here to flip green? And what did I say? If we don't and we close ugly inside here, I'll get out and wait for more strength. And it's exactly the same, right? If this starts reclaiming here, weekly range mean, then we can start targeting higher. But until then, let it do its thing, right? For now, it's looking very ugly. But yeah, for Litecoin, still in this monthly range. So yeah, let's see. Rose, that's one of the stronger ones, right? Weekly closed, not that strong, not how I would have seen it close ideal in the ideal scenario. But on the weekly and on the daily, it's looking pretty healthy, right? We have a wick to the downside already on the daily as well. But what I would like to see here, let's remove these levels. So initially I was waiting for a sweep there on this move like this. Didn't get it, right? We bounced at this low time frame demand, then another dip upside, and now sort of bullish price action. But the key resistance to break here is still this range high, as that was the range high that got swept, sideways price action, and that's where we started dumping from heavily. So I don't like longing into this. I was looking at it this morning, but what I would wait for here would be a reclaim here, something like this, and then I'd get long validation probably around here, targeting new highs there and up here. Or if we start rejecting here, a sweep of these lows in there, and then look for strength after the sweep. Right. Verge, this one I did long earlier. I see Bitcoin is rejecting quite a bit right now, but I like the chart. You know, we got a heavy rejection after sweeping this, then we closed our longs. What was it? We closed them for a loss yesterday at the same time as Litecoin, but we had some profit on this one as well, as we closed some on the wick up here. So overall, I think I didn't lose that much. It was sort of a break-even position. Now what did we get, right? A sweep of the lows into demand, where we started bouncing from. So as long as the 4-hour holds above this level, as you see, my stop is pretty damn tight. But that's for a reason, right? If we start rejecting here, I will be looking for a bigger sweep to the downside, something like this, into higher time frame demand down here, and then look for a reclaim and more upside. And for those reasons, right, I decided to give it a go right here, but with a tight stop and very low risk, right? So if I get stopped out, that's fine, and then I can try again if we get the bigger sweep into bigger demand, you know, and then we can expect a bigger bounce as well. Because if you see on the, let's remove these. Yeah, if you see where liquidity is gonna be resting here, right? We have swept the highs multiple times there, opposite side. You could argue it's this, right? Because we have from this high made these lows and swept them already. That's another argument why I could see us bounce bigger from here. But if you take these as the lows, then they are unswept, and that could be the next draw on liquidity. And at that point we could see something like this, and then see the reclaim, and then we can target higher. All right, so that will be the scenario then that I'll be watching But for now, as you can see on the hourly as well, it's pretty damn strong, right? So I am in a long. That's my only margin position of the moment. So yeah, let's see what it does. That's about it for altcoins. Oh yeah, XLM someone asked, so let's take a look. Yeah, as you can see, monthly looking horrible. Lowest closed there, closed below, retest and rejected. So let's see the weekly. Yeah, also ugly close. I don't see a reason why it is sitting at this support right there. But that's about the only level and the only positive thing that I can find here. Weekly not looking good. Yeah, I'd wait for lower. Wait for a bigger downside move and then a reclaim, and then you can look for longs. But not from here. I don't like this one. Not interested. Right, and then we have, yeah, of course, silver is just going crazy. I bought like right here at 35, so we're up huge on this trade, and I just sold another 10% of my position. So I've now sold in total 40% of my silver, 30% of my platinum, and gold I'm still holding. Reason for that is I bought the 2x leveraged ETF on silver and on platinum, which is this one, as you can see. So I'm up like 6 to 7x on silver. On platinum it's like 4x, yeah, somewhere around that. But overall I think these go higher. For platinum in the short term I'm targeting like 3.3k. Silver, honestly, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if this continues going into like 150, 160, 170, and that's the next area for me where I'll take off another 10%. My plan is to just keep taking off 10% on very big explosive moves, and then we'll see if I see like a blow off top sort of candle, then I'll just reduce a little bit more. And simply always hold a bag in my portfolio personally, silver, platinum and gold. So yeah, just continuing to hold these and trim some off. Yeah, if the profit is there, if they're making big moves. All right, stocks. So yeah, as you guys might have seen, I was looking for a break below the yearly open. And more downside to some lows. Why? Well, I wanted to buy lower. It's simply because of that. But yeah, I could have seen it happening, right? It was a decent scenario. Now, honestly, I'm not sure we're going to get it. It closed below the yearly open here, but then smashed back above, closed strong, and today swept a lot of lows on this move, and is just moving to new highs. So for now, it looks like it just wants to continue to the upside. So we'll see, but still the same scenario. If it slams back down here, back down below the yearly open, then I wouldn't be surprised if we see lower prices. Until that doesn't happen, I think it just moves higher. So I haven't bought any extra. I was waiting for lower, but I mean, I still have a very decent bag. It's just that I wanted to rotate some profits from commodities into the S&P, but I'll see, if it continues to look like this, I will likely enter already with the parts and then hold some cash on the sidelines in case we get a decent dip in the coming weeks or months. The dollar, very weak, breaking down, right? We were looking for this to break down. We said that this was the last demand. We could see a bounce from there, and that's exactly what it did. As long as it didn't reclaim these weekly range lows, we were good for lower, and we were targeting weekly demand down here. And as you can see, that's playing out beautifully. So I think lower on the dollar, and that should be good for more upside in commodities, more upside in stocks, and hopefully Bitcoin, you know. And that's the main reason why I don't see Bitcoin breaking down here significantly. I think there will be a moment where Bitcoin does some crazy move and trades back into 100k plus. All right. Spot accumulation recommendations or wait for the dip on Bitcoin, you mean? Like, it depends, you know. I've been holding Bitcoin, yeah, obviously for years. Depends on your situation. If you're not in spot Bitcoin at the moment, in my opinion, someone should always have exposure to Bitcoin. So then I'd already enter with the part here. Maybe wait for a dip in here to buy more, and then the ideal scenario. I talked about it on stream with Jack as well. Bitcoin under the loop. That the ideal entry area for Bitcoin would be down here between 65 and 75k. A sweep there and then reclaim and then back up. But honestly, not sure you're going to get it. If you get it, buy some there. I think between 65 and 75 is a great entry for the long run. But yeah, we'll have to see. Bitcoin weekly super ugly. Yeah, I agree, but it can change quickly, you know. If we sweep the current lows, yesterday low, and we get a decent reaction and reclaim the monthly open, then it suddenly looks good again. So yeah, we'll see. Do you think we range Ethereum 2860 to 3060? Let's see. You mean this lower 860 to 860? Yeah, you mean in this chop range? It could be, but I could also see Ethereum trade back to like, yeah, maybe even go for this low right there, in here. Something like this could be a good buy. If I were to buy more Ethereum, it would only be down there. Something like this, and then target the highs again. If, like I said, what's the level to reclaim? These highs right here. If it does that, I think it's back to weekly supply at range highs, 4.4k. If it trades above here, yeah, then it's go time. And same thing, right, for Ethereum. Huge yearly range from back in 2021. If this breaks out, I think it's gonna go to 9 to 10k. But until then, it could take another couple years, you know. Tao, lovely view. Maybe another 2-3 months before we get another opportunity to buy anything on spots. Yeah, possibly. It could range way longer than people expect or think. So yeah, have your plans. Trade it on the side and take it easy, you know. Don't chase profits in the silver market, for example. Do I think buying silver here is a good idea? Like, what can you expect if you buy silver here, right? If you want a 2x, it needs to trade to like 223. And is that possible? Yes. But is it likely? Yeah, maybe it's likely. But is it worth the risk, right? Maybe not. So yeah. There will always be more opportunities. Tao. It's also a pretty clean high time frame range, right? Monthly, but yeah, it just looks ugly, no? Swept these highs and now just rejecting. So once again, if it does this, if it does this and then you see strength, then it would look good for a bigger bounce towards like here, above here. I would say all-time highs, or are these all-time highs? I think so, right? So then more likely to there, but until then, right, wait for strength. Right now it looks like these lows are next, but then we'll have to see if it rejects and we trade towards down here and the weekly closes down here. It could also break below range lows and trade to new all-time lows, right? So either wait for a sweep and a strong close and then take it from there, or a reclaim of this blue supply area where we rejected from earlier. But right here it's basically in the middle of nowhere. But this range low level is a good level though. Yeah. Where do you think MicroStrategy could bounce for a 60-70k Bitcoin scenario? Honestly, I've never looked at a MicroStrategy chart before, so let's take a look. Yeah, it looks ugly, right? First big squeeze was here, then ranging, broke down, accumulation, right? Clean, and then upside, range continuation, and then blow off top, heavy rejection, lower high into supply. And now we're like, if you compare it to this cycle, if you can call it a cycle, I think this is trading like somewhere around here. So ideal scenario, maybe a bounce from here, but then downside to there. If you're saying like 60-70k Bitcoin scenario, right? Then maybe sweep these lows in here, and that's a solid buy there, in my opinion. And then bounce it back. Maybe to all-time highs, maybe just for a lower high to like somewhere there. Yeah, but overall, like, it will just take time, I think, and depend on Bitcoin, of course. But like, I wouldn't buy this right here. If it does something like this, where it ranges, then sweeps the lows and reclaims, then that's where I'd buy some targeting a bit higher. Ultimately, I think Verge is the best on long-term charts. Yeah, that's also why I've been so busy. I mean, why I've been talking about it that much lately. Because indeed, I feel like this ranging on the weekly, once it flips this into support, I feel like this is gonna pull a monster move. It's also a dino coin, so just like Ripple did, like Link did once, like Litecoin never did, but let's hope it does. I could see this pull a big move as well, and if you catch that, like, you can make a lot of profits. So yeah. But even low time frame, right? We caught a nice move on this move, but it hasn't really done what I want to see it do, right? I want to see this break above here and really squeeze. But we'll see, you know. Like I said, short term, first flip this, then we'll see if it deviates again and breaks back below. Then it's still stuck inside this range. If it flips this into support, something like this, then it's likely go time. But yeah, one of my favorite charts at the moment is Verge. Anything else here? Hype. Oh yeah. I feel like DEX tokens could be in for some bigger relief as well. Hype, Aster, Aster looks pretty damn clean in my opinion. I talked about it in the Discord as well. So broke down here, long accumulation phase, then aggressive down move. Oops. And then from there, good bounce. Now rejecting on the first touch of this, yeah, support flipped into resistance area. But once it gets back above here now, I think it's at least back towards there. These highs up here, and then so this will be on my watch list for this week. On the lower time frames, I like how it swept some lows as well here recently, but the weekly and the daily, right, are looking the same. It's still fine, to be honest. Could see a bigger bounce from here, but right now it's at resistance. So if I were to try to long it early without proper confirmation, and with proper confirmation I mean a reclaim of this blue area, it would probably be betting on some kind of higher low into these blue levels. So something like this, and then try it here with a tight stop. Let's see if you long it there. See, even if you put your stop very safe and you allow for this to sweep more liquidity below these daily lows, right? And you expect the daily demand down here to hold, which is why you put your stop there. So allow for a scenario where price does this and then reclaims. Even then, risk reward is pretty damn solid down here, you see, if you're targeting these highs. So this will be one to watch. I will be watching this one. Aster, and then Hype is also looking fine, you know. Daily also swept this low, reclaim, and now could be a higher low in the making. So solid risk reward for longs. Of course, if it breaks lower, it's likely gonna bleed a lot more. But I see more risk reward in longing here rather than shorting. Also, it looks something like this, this, and this. All right. Do you trade leverage? Yes, sir. I'm not able to join the Discord since I can't use partner exchanges in my non-EU country because of crypto ban. How do I join? Send me a message on, join the Discord and send me a message, and let's see what we can do. All right, so quick live stream. I'm gonna hop off already. Covered what I wanted to cover, just a quick update. Hope you enjoyed. I will likely stream tomorrow as well, to give you an update, hopefully after a little bit more action. I hope we don't range in like a $100 range here and don't see anything, but let's see. Anything's possible, right? So take it easy, manage your risk, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.